Hi, this is Jared Dees from thereligionteacher.com. Who are the Samaritans in the Bible? There are two stories about Samaritans in the New Testament. One is Jesus' meeting with the woman at the well, and another is a parable that he tells that we know as the parable of the Good Samaritan. Now, within that story, those two stories, the shocking thing is that clearly the Jews of Jesus' time do not like the Samaritans. And we have to understand why. Why is there dislike of Samaritans? Because understanding that will give a further insight into why those stories of the encounter with the woman at the well and the parable of Good Samaritan are so powerful. Well, in 721 B.C., the Assyrian Empire came and conquered the northern tribes of Israel. So the northern kingdom of Israel was conquered by the Assyrian Empire, and the people there were sent into captivity. They were sent away from their home. But some of them remained and intermarried with the Gentiles. So they were not pure-blooded Israelites from the perspective of the Jews in the southern kingdom. And as the woman at the well even points out, they didn't worship in Jerusalem. They worshiped on Mount Gerizim, which they said was the most holy place, as the first place where the Israelites worshiped God while entering into the promised land. So with understanding this as a backdrop, we know that why did the Jews dislike the Samaritans in the New Testament? It's because they saw them not as pure-blooded Israelites, but as intermarried with the Gentiles, and they were worshiping in the wrong place according to them, versus Jerusalem, which was the holiest place, of course, right? Now, understanding that gives so much more power to these stories. The parable of the Good Samaritan, for example, Jesus is comparing a Good Samaritan who the Jews don't like, right, to the Jewish leaders who walk by this man who was beaten and nearly killed. And then a Samaritan comes along and he helps this person get back up on his feet, saves him. An example of how to love your neighbor. The story of the woman at the well, the Samaritan woman at the well, Jesus meets her in the middle of the day. He shouldn't be associating himself with her. The disciples don't approve of that even. But she becomes one of the greatest evangelists in that area. It's because of her story, her witness, that she is able to spread the word, spread the good news, and recruit followers of Jesus Christ. In the book of Acts, when Jesus is ascending up into heaven, he says to his disciples, "Go be my witnesses." Where? To Judea, to Samaria, and to the ends of the earth. He specifically points out that he wants his disciples to go to Samaria to preach the good news. And of course, that's what they do. They go out not just to the little area of Jerusalem, but throughout the entire world, including Samaria. So it's important to understand the backdrop, the history, the animosity there, to be able to appreciate what Jesus is doing in the stories that he lives out, the stories that he tells, and the commands that he gives to go and be witnesses even to these Samaritans. So now, go make disciples. God bless.